Hey guys, welcome back to Curb Appeal TV. In today's podcast, we'll be talking about our month of July.
Come on.
In car sales, personal development and growth, YouTube strategy, success, vacations, comebacks, best weeks, best months,
highs, lows, highs,
more highs.
You see, because life is like this, and I like this.
Top level, top G.
Quoting Harvey Specter.
But for us, we just finished the month July and going into August now. Got a few new ideas for how we can push the channel. And before we started, me and Phil were kind of talking about how we can use some of the tools available now from AI and other even YouTubers to make more content focused on what you guys like to see in a way that we can produce, quick and entertaining videos to keep everything moving along pretty quickly. Phil, what are you thinking about the next couple video ideas that we have doing these kind of?
I think you guys are gonna like them. They're very educational, and they're packed full of a lot of things that car guys would enjoy. And I'm curious to see y'all's feedback and your reaction. So let us know.
Yeah, and for some of the tools that we're using too to chop all this into shorts and basically the editing software, some tips for y'all that are watching if you want to make some similar type stuff. You can use a website called Opus and another tool called Gling, which will edit out silences and bad takes and allow you to cut down the video very quickly. So for y'all that want to do something similar, I recommend looking at those. They're free to use if you credit them in your videos that you make with them. And then they do, of course, have a paid service too.
Yeah, they've been great. I mind sharing these things with you guys because we're learning too. And I think we've gotten significantly better since the first time that we posted our first video as far as the editing goes, the type of content, the camera angles, lighting, etc. And it's just going to continue to get better.
Yeah, the camera here in the center that we're using is a Sony ZV-1F. Which you can get from either Amazon, Best Buy, or your favorite electronics website for basically $500, maybe $400, $450 used. And it's one of the best cameras for content creators, easy to use, and able to give you up to 4K video quality in all different lighting scenarios. It can plug into your mics and will allow you to get started on doing stuff like this too.
And our camera angle number 2 is something you don't even have to go to the store to go get, because you probably already have one in your front pocket, back pocket, wherever you keep it, shirt pocket, prison wallet. No, I'm joking.
Prison wallet.
Yeah, it's just regular iPhone. I'm using the iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Yeah.
It films great. The only difficulty that we have is getting the footage actually to the computer because it takes forever. That's pretty much it. Versus the camera, pop the SD card in the computer, and
yeah, much quicker with the SD cards. But one thing that's been working at least reasonably quick if you are shooting on iPhone or Android or whatever cell phones is iCloud or Google Drive exporting. As long as you have a power supply and really fast internet, you can usually export it within the same session.
Especially the car reels. Car reels, highly recommend you use your phone. Go to Digi and get yourself a stabilizer, the gimbal thingy, so you can record a shit ton of car edits. You can put it in 0.5, put it in 60 frames per second, 4K, and then use CapCut to do your edits and cuts with. Learn that from a dude on Instagram, and not saying I'm perfect at it, gradually getting better daily, but I would say my first versus my first edits and the edits that we're doing now are significantly better quality.
Yeah, and that's also one of the best tools that we've been using too is CapCut, and for the podcast, send it to Adobe Premiere. And
CapCut Pro is worth it. Whatever they charge per month.
It's like, what, $15-$30 per month?
I don't even think it's that much.
Yeah, but now they also have it set up on the desktop, which we can start using too, and allows you to edit even more long-form content using CapCut. So seeing how things are going for them, they may end up taking over some of the...
And if you got any tips and tricks, let us know.
Yeah, please comment or share.
We'd love to try it out. Love to use it. And if we get good at it, we'll definitely share it with you guys. For sure. Well,
and we can talk about some of the stats for last month. Here, pull up on your phone the Facebook and...
Oh, yeah? You want me to pull it up on my phone? Should we tell them how we're recording it?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's on his phone. So I'll pull it up, at least what I can on mine here. On YouTube last month, we had, let's see.
Bum, 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 bum.
So, well, I'll tell you in comparison, so this will sound a lot more exciting. In comparison to June, which was a total of 67,684 views across all videos, we more than doubled in July with a total of
Woo!
135,143 views.
Come on.
Across all of our videos.
Let's go.
And for the past, now 3 months that we have, or 90 days in our history, we can check and see what that looks like too. So in 3 months, 90 days on YouTube, total views of 258,536 viewers across all of our videos.
Yes, and growing. Thanks to you guys.
Good job, bro.
Good job. Shout out us.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys joining us on the long form, shorts, wherever you may interact with us, or if you meet us in person, at maybe the dealership or
Car shows.
Yeah.
Or out in public.
Yeah, and what's cool too, some of our customers that are more car enthusiasts have been watching and supporting the stuff. So it's always happy, or makes me happy to see people are enjoying what we're up to outside of just regular work life stuff. So,
yeah, for sure.
And one of our biggest supporters is actually our receptionist at work.
Yeah. Shout out Marissa.
Yeah, shout out Marissa. She's so cool.
Yeah. She's always talking about the content that we're putting out. She watches it all the way through, I feel like.
Yeah.
And asks us about it, gets our feedback, or we hear her feedback from it, vice versa. And
what's cool too for her is, I respect her input and opinion because she does social media.
She's very comfortable in that type of territory, from what I understand.
Yeah, she likes
done
being
a lot
in front
of
of the camera.
like TV things and podcast things and social media things, and she's very comfortable on camera. So her feedback is definitely appreciated.
Yeah, so we appreciate everybody supporting. Again, shout out Marissa. Thanks for being interested in what we're up to. We appreciate your support. So that's our stats for this month on YouTube. And again, using the tools that we've been telling you about and being consistent even through the highs and lows. It comes in waves. Even looking kind of at the charts as it's going, still overall like linear progression, but it is something you just have to wake up and work towards every day, similar to whatever you want to achieve.
Yeah, so straight discipline, man. We haven't missed a day.
No.
We can say that as a matter of fact, we've never missed one single day since we started this thing.
Yeah, and
that's another thing that we've not only learned in the car business, but we're kind of applying that towards here, is that it's very important to get your reps in. And we may be putting out a lot of content now, but we're working through those errors that we would have taken longer to figure out because we're doing it on a more consistent basis, and failing a lot sooner by doing it more versus posting infrequently, such as anything, really.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. You can use that for kind of anything. Don't be afraid to fail. That's gonna allow you to learn the things, or become, or earn the skill that you need to be where you want. So I think it's been a learning process. And
same thing goes in sales, man. I think everyone should work retail for that reason, because if you're in a long sales cycle, it takes forever for you to have those opportunities like that, versus when you see people every day, you're forced outside of your comfort zone to have conversations with people.
Yeah, just rapid.
You get really good at people reading and gestures and things like that, because you've just seen it and interacted with it so many times.
That's
right?
Facts.
So same thing applies here. We're applying the same principles that we learned there here, as far as doing it more consistently and learning from our mistakes a lot sooner. So the quicker we do that, the quicker we get rid of the gray areas and the things that we're not good at, the quicker we can get back to, or not saying back to, or get to filming even better top-notch content, because we're learning every day. So.
Yeah, and all the work we put in, going over the stats on YouTube, the stats for Facebook,
going crazy. I don't have it here, unfortunately. It's over there, but I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of anywhere between, for the month of July, it was 178,000.
Yeah.
I think probably for the 3-month scale, like you're looking at, north of 200,000. For the month. And then IG, I don't know, they I feel like they turned down our algorithm a little bit.
It's hard to read
for a month and a half or so. I don't know if we put out something that was not right. Let us know in the comments if you've experienced this before, or
shadow ban.
Yeah, what you did to kind of solve it. But we were getting double-digit views on all of our reels, where we were getting 1,000 views plus, 2,000 views, some videos 6,000-7,000 views on IG as far as reels goes, and it just went down. But recently it went back up like this past week and a half, we got like almost 20,000 views on IG because I guess whatever shadow ban that we had went away mysteriously, and the views just shot right back up.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's just how it goes, or
I think others are having similar experience, and it's just hard to tell because
I mean, our content really isn't controversial. It's mostly car related, and some of the funnier things that we post aren't really controversial in my opinion. It's like mostly like in the car realm, and it's actually facts. These are things that you can look up,
stories,
like
experiences,
in the news and things like that, experiences and so on from other people who are not directed towards any sort of conflict. Nevertheless, that's IG. TikTok, on the other hand, we've had some up and down view videos. We had some videos get 4,000 views, which is pretty good for TikTok. For us, at least, we've been averaging between 200 to 300 views per video, consistent 30 to 40 likes, I think. And we're up to 131 followers on TikTok. So shout out TikTok fam, and we're gonna continue to keep pushing it out and get better every day.
Yeah, and tell them too about, and we talked about it a little bit last time, but it's changed, of course, since then. Our best performing video to date is that one on Facebook.
Oh yeah, you guys really loved the for our YouTube fam on Facebook. The Facebook fam really loved the John Mayberry Jr. clip where we talk about the fact that the salesperson got fired for not showing him the car that he came to see. And that video right now is almost at 150K, which is our first like viral video to get that many views, and a ton of interaction, a lot of likes, a bunch of comments too, and we appreciate the support on that video. It's getting on up there, and we've gotten a lot of followers from it too.
Yeah. So again, thanks for the support. Thanks for sharing, staying active on our content, and that video we shot on 2 iPhones. Edited it on the iPhone, did all the music, images, everything through CapCut, Gling, and Captions AI app. So I think it's pretty amazing, what you can make as far as an impact with whatever you want to do, as long as you're putting the effort in and sticking with it.
Yeah, and I think another thing that's super underrated that we should talk about is just the fact that we're just going, right? And we've started, and we're just kind of learning as we go. We didn't kind of map it out or try to perfect all of these skills
at one time
before even starting the whole thing. We're just learning as we go, and I think that's pretty cool and important because you guys get to see our growth and the things that we learn and things like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a muscle that you learn to use. And I feel like as we get better at this, and as we master our skills for social media, this type of content, we can really do some cool strategies and courses for other people too, to be in similar positions.
Definitely gonna give back the knowledge that we learned back to you guys.
For us too, talk a little bit about our last month in sales outside of YouTube and social media and everything. And I had probably one of my best months this year so far for July in car sales, and talked about it a little bit on the previous podcast, but came back from initial like 4-day vacation. I feel like I missed basically the first like week of the month, and I was able to recharge a little bit and got back in, and I had my best week ever, which we talked about, where I had
11 cars.
Yeah, sold 11 cars, and
good stuff.
And all the deals, stay together too. Like if y'all are in the car business or even like real estate or whatever, you may take a deposit or come to an agreement, and some deals may fall through. But I was able to hold everything together. And at the end of my month too, I was coming close to getting my next unit bonus, or I guess pay plan bonus, as far as like your percentage increase on your commission basis. So I had set up my appointments for the last day of the month. And what was funny too, I had sold a car in the morning out of like 3 appointments. I had sold one, and my like middle of the day canceled. And I was like, and I don't even know, because I don't look until the end of the month. They're like, well, wouldn't you be upset if you're like one away, or
I left it all on the field.
Well, yeah, they're like, wouldn't you be upset if you missed your bonus by like 1 or 2 cars? And they're already knowing like I was like maybe 1 or 2, because they can see all your stats in the system and whatever. And they're just they
just do it to say, so you can say it out loud in front of the other sales reps that aren't performing, to motivate them to do better. That's the only reason why they technically do it. They're coming from like a leadership perspective. Like you do that to kind of promote like some sort of like competition camaraderie like between the associates.
Yeah, I feel that. And sometimes too, it's hard not to like take it personally if it may come across like a certain type of way, if they're trying to like get in your head or mess with you or throw you off slightly. But I had sold that one car, and they're talking about this and that, the other, And they started saying that, and I was like, well, I sold this one, and I had my other appointment come in later that day that was going to be a deposit. And I would have missed my bonus if it had stayed a deposit for like an incoming car. But I was able to switch them from, say, a lower level incoming car to like one higher, slightly better deal we were able to give them since it was on the ground versus something we didn't have on hand.
Fantastic.
And I was able to fucking get that last one done. It was very end of the day too. Ended up leaving, right at close. Customer happy, take the car home, and I went home smiling. I had a really good month. I ended up selling, I think, a total like 25 cars for the total units I got counted, and one I will go over to the next month.
Nice, man.
How was your sales month, sir?
My sales month was good. I ended up with 19 cars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I had a boatload of deposits too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Did you start off the month with them, or in the month with them?
I had a lot of them. Well, I've had seven deposits this month that I'll have for August. That will be deliveries, but I have 5 that I've already signed up so far.
Very nice.
So 2 left.
Very good, sir. So you'll have a good start to.
So it's now August 3rd. I'm sitting at 7. So
that's amazing, bro.
Hoping to turn it into a 30-car month.
Yeah, way to go. Let me hold something. So for those of y'all in the car business, what was your best month or your past month this July? Or I'd like to hear too, anybody that may be like a realtor or in tech sales or whatever it may be that may be watching. What was your past month? Whatever sales position you may be, your hardest times, what you were able to learn, or some of the things that kept you motivated going through tough situations, or like mental fog that you get stuck into trying to get these.
Dude, let's touch a little bit on the mental fog, because I've came into some interesting research based on some videos and some podcasts that I've listened to, also some audiobooks that talk about like a baseline level amount of dopamine.
Interesting. So tell me what you've seen.
So, for example, like if you can get dopamine hits from multiple different things that like life has to offer you. Yeah. For example, like your phone, you can get dopamine hit from scrolling through social media. You kind of get sucked in there. Or, for example, the series you and I like to watch, Suits. When you get hooked and start binge watching a series, a lot of times that increases gives you a dopamine spike. And then when you stop watching it, you feel kind of disoriented and kind of out of it and hard to get back in the groove, and you lose momentum. Some of the things that the research that I found kind of talk about is kind of avoiding those things. So your baseline dopamine level is a lot easier and attainable out in the real world. So you're not relying on these little escapes to get away from your life, because before you realize it, you're so time consumed in it, spending hours and hours a day, whatever. Just check your screen time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's easy little hack there. Go to your screen time, and then you can really just regulate your dopamine levels based on how you lower your screen time. Because I feel like most people struggle with staying on their phone, addicted to the phone.
Yeah, and I can say I'm victim to that too. I'll be sitting there waiting for a customer when I could be, messaging or being prepared for something or one thing or the other, but scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, just, biding my time going through the day. And it really adds up, but that is important because I definitely noticed that.
You can get dopamine levels from other things too, talking to people.
Music, probably.
Gym, and things like that. It's really just figuring out how to add things to like your natural dopamine level, like working out and being healthy, drinking a lot of water, or some things that you can do to increase that amount, so you can stay in that less like depressive state and that low frequency that you're at, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because then you'll just sit there and then you'll just kind of fall victim to a lot of the things that are happening, and you have less control over the things that you do. You'll live a more reactive life versus a more proactive life. Looking versus trying to run into the problems that you're having and try to solve them, kind of being more reactive, procrastinating them, and making it a lot worse. And ultimately letting that little bitch voice in your mind kind of control what it is that you do. Hit the snooze button, stay up a little later. Yeah. When you should be getting up, this, that, and doing your things.
Not one thing I know I'm guilty of myself is so on days like this, commit to shooting the videos we do and podcasts and all that stuff.
It gets tough, man, because we work all week, and if you're in the car business at all, you just deal with a lot of bullshit all the time. Gosh. Yeah, it just never stops, and then your days off, you kind of just want to relax, but it's really not relaxing, especially if you have errands to run and things like that. You're just kind of out and about doing your thing. But ultimately it's you have days like we're with us, even that we're doing this little side thing, we really don't feel like doing it, but we get it done anyways because we know that it's important, and we don't let our bitch voice dominate us around here.
That's right.
We get it done regardless.
Yeah,
so
getting better every day. Definitely still have, our days, but as we put the work in, kind of build that callus over that bitch voice, and
you
continue to get better.
Well, and not only that, so talking about the bitch voice and the boss voice, if you've ever like read into like the law of attraction and manifestation, they say that your high frequency self, which is your boss voice, and your low frequency self, which is your bitch voice, your high frequency self, boss voice, gives you a step-by-step roadmap of where it is your vision wants you to go as far as manifestation, because it'll give you little choices that you have to make in order to get to where you want to go, because it ultimately sees your vision and is trying to get you there. But then you're fighting because you're always conflicted with your bitch voice in that low frequency state that wants you to stay comfortable and not do those things.
Yeah.
So it's very important to be able to kind of separate the two, differentiate which one is kind of communicating with you, and no matter how uncomfortable or how bad it feels, kind of follow that path, so that way you get to where you want to go ultimately, because your subconscious knows what you want.
That's
right?
facts.
And your bitch voice try to trump what you want because it wants you to stay comfortable.
Yeah, that's facts. One thing I saw too, kind of relating to that, is, one of my favorite books is called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And ultimately the whole book is talking about you become what you think about the most. So if you're, in your thoughts and you're combating yourself with, not wanting to go out and do the things
Of course,
you need
if you put the work in.
Yeah.
You can become that motherfucker if you put the work in.
Yeah, and it's
not going to come to you.
It all starts from within. You can change your environment. That'll help with the initial kind of boost off the ground if you have people or things around you that are keeping you from being or doing what you want. That's the initial start, and the rest is really just the mindset and keeping your focus on the things that you do want rather than the focus on like things that you don't want. So like think about like you're skiing through like a mountain and you're dodging these trees, going through the openings and whatnot. Do you think he's more focused on the trees or focused on the openings? So as you're going through, focus on the openings and just diving through versus staring down all the obstacles and just letting it consume you and then fucking running into one and getting smacked down.
Yeah, you said something very important. I'd like to touch on that too, as far as like your environment.
Yeah,
you have this, like, if you want to have things and achieve things, it requires sacrifice, and it requires real sacrifice. And the notion that you think that you can achieve it all and get it all is far from true. You can't be a baller or work your ass off to be a baller and pull up those that aren't in that similar mindset around you. It doesn't work that way. The sacrifice is you go on your own path, and unfortunately those people kind of fade away. You'll have the one or two that are real, and they, like, I have friends that I speak to, maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times a year, that we just pick up right where we left off.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? It's and they're on that similar like kind of mode. We don't mess with each other, but it's a mutual understanding, and we will always have each other's backs.
Anything else, I guess, on your mind or from this past month before we kind of close things out?
No, not necessarily that I could think of off the top of my head.
Just trying to get these ideas and processes down for creating these videos that we have in mind, and really kind of getting the YouTube going.
Yeah. Oh, we got one special announcement to make.
Let's hear it.
Jackson got a new car.
Yeah. Well, in the process of, this is something we can, we make videos and some cinematic kind of shorts and reels.
Well, let me rephrase that. Got another new car.
Yeah. So this is my, third new car ever? No, fourth new car ever. So I've had, my first new car ever was a 2020 or 2021 Mazda 3 sedan.
Turbo.
Non-turbo, first one. So it was a gray on white, like premium, fully loaded, but they didn't have the turbo on that year. So I think it was 20. And then 2020,
which had these wheels that you guys.
Yeah. So the wheels that are in the studio.
Yeah, that's where they came from.
Off my first new car ever. And when I was getting, while I'm still in the process of this, feels like, why don't you just take the wheels from the studio and put them on the car? It looks so great. I'm like, no, that's, they're part of the studio now. And for kind of the idea I have in mind for this new car, the build and everything that we can do, it'll be really cool. And Phil actually helped me pick out some wheels, and I think I might go with the ones that he sent me.
I'm a wheel whisperer.
They're from ESR. There's like a split 5-spoke kind of design. blacked out.
It looks so good.
It's so the car that we're talking about here, that I'm trading my
The car in question.
Yeah, I'm trading my 2021 Indy Miata RF Club with BBS package towards a 2023 Premium Plus Turbo hatchback, fully loaded everything. Mazda 3.
Gray with black.
All-wheel drive, turbo, 2.5 liter with over 320 pounds of torque to all wheels. It'll smoke almost everything from a stoplight within reason, up to like 60 miles an hour, and look really nice while doing it. The interior, in my opinion, I think probably you and most Mazda customers will agree that it has one of the nicest, sleekest interiors that's definitely on par, if not better, than Audi, Mercedes, and BMW in their mid to even some of their high trim levels.
Dude, let's talk about the simplicity of Mazda interiors.
And elegance. It's just...
Oh, dude, it's so simple. It's modern. And I
Kodo
love
design,
it.
baby.
Love it. It's fantastic.
Crafted by hand in Japan out of clay. Mazda is one of the largest purchasers of automotive clay to build and design their cars. So they have these really beautiful flowing lines that start built around the driver. So it's a human-centric, soul of motion design, and they connect the driver with the car in a term they call Jinbai Itai.
You know what I feel like? I feel like the ancestors that crafted Mazdas, like the ancestors of the guys who invented Mazdas and designed, probably crafted like some sort of like samurai sword and was just like very sleek with it. And it was like very careful with like its design and sharpness. So,
and I certainly believe that, because even like the fabrics and material choices, they really select at a nice level to give you this experience at a very reasonable price point. So this car, fully loaded, everything, all the features you could ever want. MSRP is what, like 38, almost 39 or so. And in comparison, if you wanted the same type performance and features, you'd have to go up another like 20 to 30 grand in budget if you wanted something, European with a similar setup. So the plan for it is finish trading the Miata, lower the car on the iBox springs that I have in one of these boxes in here somewhere. Probably get the wheels that Phil found, or maybe some other ones that I haven't quite decided yet, but I think I might go with those. And
we're definitely going to be making some videos about it, so you guys can look out for those.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
But that's kind of new and exciting. Still in process of doing that, but I have some cool content, and maybe after this too, I may go for a drive later and take some cool clips or walk around on like a mountainside kind of overlook for a nice video setting. Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining us for today's podcast.
Yep, tune in next time. Curb Appeal TV, and like always,
like, comment, subscribe, check out our merch. We appreciate you supporting. If you are a returning viewer, make sure to share to your friends or tell people that you may be in contact with that are into cars or in the business about what we're up to. And thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Bye.